welcome back to my channel. It is of course Chelsea of She Designs Things, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my process for setting up and selling my Google site templates. So of course, if you'd like to know more about how I sell my templates, then stay tuned. So I received this question from a person who watches my YouTube channel. They asked, can you talk a little more about how or where you store your templates and the process of delivering the template once it is sold? I'm trying to figure out how to provide the template without having to share the template and tell the client to make a copy. And unfortunately, forced copy doesn't work with Google Sites. Alright, so this one is for you, B. So let me go ahead and get started. Alright, so if you have seen my earlier YouTube videos, then you've probably seen me working in Canva. I do have a video, I think it's either my second or third video, I'll try to leave a card to it, where I show pretty much this process, which is, you know, sharing the document with clients. So here is the file that I created inside of Canva. It's literally just a letter file. And with Canva, you're able to, you know, create this clickable PDF file. And that is what I use to share my client documents. If you've ever purchased a digital product, either through Etsy or Creative Market, then this is something you've probably seen before. To share the actual file link, I put it on usually the 4th page, and I do title my pages just to make jumping from page to page easier in Adobe. So the link to the Google site is stored in the Google Drive. Now here's the thing, when you are inside of the Google Drive or creating your Google site, it's very important to set up the Google site so that people can make a copy. You can absolutely force make a copy inside of Google Sites. That's literally the only thing that you could do. So let me go ahead and show you how to do that. So here I am gonna use Soul House as an example. So this is the Soul House website. It is still not complete, but just for the sake of this video, I'm gonna use it as the example. So say I want to share Soul House as a template. The first thing I do is clear out any images that my clients will not have the rights to. Images that are not stock images or images that I supply that are of my own. I do not share those images, especially like the photography based ones, because they're mine. I don't have to share them. That's just that simple. So something like this where I'm using stock photography that you can find on like Unsplashed for free will probably end up staying, but anything else I will remove. First thing I do is once I have the template itself completely made up and I have a live view, I'll title the live view So I have a total like 2 copies of the website, the one that is distributed and then the one that is live. So this we'll just say is the live site, and let me change this to what I would usually do, which would say live right across here and then dash the site. So now I have the live Soul House, and this comes up in the corner and I don't really care for it, so I just delete it, which won't do anything to here obviously because this is the file name. This is the website name. Totally different places to get the title, which I'll make a separate video about that at some point. So now I have the live file. What I like to do at this point now is make a copy. I would simply hit the 3 dots along the side next to publish and hit make a copy. Once I select make a copy, I can decide what folder I want to put it in. I have a folder for my live websites, which I just call live view websites. And then I'll create a folder, or I'll put this one in a separate folder. So this one is no longer going to be the live site. This will just be the template site. So I can title it temp and then move it out of the live view folder. So I would select change folder. and come out of there, and then decide if it needs to go in its own folder or if it just needs to go as a standard site. Usually it goes in its own folder, so I will create a new folder, and this one will be called Soul House, and then check, and then select the folder and press OK. So this part here is also super important. Once the copy is made, it'll open up in a separate window if you allow in your browser for it to open up in a separate window. So this would say the temp Soul House, and so this is how I know that this file is the template file. This is an integral part. Do not hit publish. Do not do anything to this file, because this is going to force make a copy. So now you see that I am actually inside of the Soul House file located in the Google Drive. Now, there are a few ways of handling this. The first way is literally just to hover over the file, like the temp file, and then right click, and you can view the details, or you can click share. So if I click share, this is going to share the site with people within my organization. Or I could do this where it says draft. I want to select anyone with a link or restricted. If you want to share it with anyone because you don't really feel like dealing with, having to how do I put it? Having to respond to the request, even if it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, you would select anyone with the link, and keep them as viewers. Do not change this to editor, please. I cannot say this. I cannot stress this enough. Do not set your template to editor, whether it's draft or public, for anyone. Always leave it as viewer. This part is how we force make a copy inside of the Google Drive. So I'm just gonna click done. And now that I've clicked done, I need the Google Drive link. So I'm just gonna right click over here and get the link. Once I click get link, I can see that the folder for Soul House, if I were to share the folder for Soul House, it's restricted to only people in this group. So to make this easier, the only thing I want to do is, if I had multiple documents in here, I would share the entire folder. But because I don't have multiple documents, I'm still going to share the entire folder. And I'll show you why. If you click on here and click get the link, it's literally just going to share this link right here, and you can add people to it, which I don't want to do. So I need to share the Google Drive link. So I'm going to say get link. And then when this drop down comes back, I'm going to say anyone with the link. And again, this is to pretty much force anyone with the link to make a copy. They have no other choice. So copy link and click done. And now I head on back over into Canva where I add that link. So here inside of Canva, I would simply click where I have the Google site, and I have this as a group. So I'm going to ungroup them, since this button I add the link to, and the text I also add the link to. So the button, I'm going to click on where the link is and hit delete. And then the Google Drive as well, where Google site is written, I'm going to click on that and hit delete. So I'm going to just paste the link here and paste the link there and here, remove the underline. So once I do that, I click share, and then I download the file, and I upload the file to, I download the file, just so you know, as a standard PDF. And then once the file is downloaded, I drop it into a folder inside of Google Drive, and I'll show you what that looks like. So here is the folder inside of Google Drive where I just store my PDFs. Keep in mind, I don't use the stored PDFs inside of here all the time. If I'm selling my site through Etsy, like selling this through Etsy, this is already stored inside of Etsy. So I don't have to do anything with it. I can just take the PDF and upload it to Etsy. But if I'm selling it on my website, This is where the process gets more complicated, and you want to have someone with knowledge of web development take over. Now, when it comes to sharing the template link in a simplistic way, you can do Stripe or PayPal buttons. So if you wanted to, you can create a product inside of Stripe. And so I'm just going to use the Naturalist, one of these as an example. You would create the Stripe product that you see here. What you'll do is, once the product is created, you want to create a redirect once payment is confirmed, and then it's going to route you back here, and this is where you need to create a payment link. So I'm going to hit create a new payment link just for this example. This is the payment link that we have. You can collect text automatically, collect the customer's address, require customers to provide a phone number, etc., etc. What you need to change is the after payment. Instead of the after payment going to show a confirmation page, this is where you would add the redirect. So you could replace with a custom message, or don't show the confirmation page, and instead redirect them to that payment, to the Google Drive link right here. So this is where you would paste the Google Drive link, and that's pretty much it for Stripe. Now to show you what it would look like in PayPal. Alright, so here is the steps for working inside of PayPal. When you log into PayPal, just select the pay and get paid, and then you'll see the accept payments located along the side. Where you want to select is the PayPal buttons. Once you select PayPal buttons, a page with the different types of buttons that you can create will open up. The only button that we are going to be creating for our digital product is the Buy Now button. This is for selling your digital products. This will be the easiest way of selling your digital product. So here we're just going to select this Pay or Buy Now button. Once the Buy Now button opens up, you have the option of actually changing the button type here if you needed to make it a shopping cart or something else, but I'm just going to leave it as the Buy Now button. Add in your product name, maybe give it an ID, which is optional, set your price, and then down here where it goes to tracking and inventory, which is the second part, make sure to save the button. The last part is the optional like customization and advanced features. This is where you're going to go to take customers to this URL when they finish. Here is where you can check, put in that link for your Google Drive. Another thing you can do, if you really wanted to track or see if someone is, if there are digital product abuses, is to create a tiny URL or a trackable URL link that still links to your Google Drive. It just lets you know how many people have accessed that link. And if you're not using that link yourself, then you shouldn't see anyone accessing the link. That way you can protect like, oh, okay, someone has access to my Google Drive link. So just make sure you're using one or two options to be able to track your links to make sure that you can see who has access to what. But this is where you put that Google Drive link right here. Alright, so I do hope this video, while long, was helpful in showing you my Google site process. Nothing I do in Google Sites in terms of selling digital products is new. There are hundreds of thousands of videos already created about selling digital products. So I'm not going to go into any more details about setting up my templates, because it's literally the same for selling any digital product. I can't explain it any more than I already have. There's a good chance that if you are having a tough time setting up or selling a digital product, you should look into hiring a web developer or just doing a little bit more research on web development. Now, I will also like to point out that while I create in Google Sites, and while some people look at it as having a lot of limitations, I'll say this, if you only see its limitations, you will never see its potential. And the same can be said for yourself. If you're constantly telling yourself that this isn't something you can learn how to do, then you will never learn how to do it. Just saying. Just saying. All right, of course, thanks so much for watching, and laters.